Welcome to Ecclesia Principles, a biblical strategy for believers to engage in God's design for government with Ray Eppard.
Hello, good to see you today. Today we're going to talk about a story from the Old Testament, but I'm going to relate it to us today. And my text today is 1 Corinthians 10, verse 11. It says, Now all these things happened to them as examples, and they were written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the ages have come. So if you read the entire chapter, you'll see he's talking about the things that happened in the Old Testament, that they are our examples, and they are to admonish us, both for things to do and things to not do. And with that, where I want to go today is that so often we as Christians look for the deeper meaning of Scripture. We look for the metaphorical aspect and what is the lesson here. And we should. We should do that because those things are truth. But I think we do it so much that we miss truth that's right in front of us. And so today I want to look at a truth that's right in front of us. That, in all honesty, I want to talk about the story of David and Goliath. We won't go there as far as turning to those pages, but most of you remember the story of David and Goliath. Virtually every message I have ever heard about David and Goliath dealt with the deeper meanings of that story and different ways we could apply it. I actually have never heard anyone talk about the actual story and the dynamics that were involved. And I want to sum it up. David loved God. He was a descendant of Abraham. He had a covenant with God. He believed God, and he was faithful to what was given him. Goliath was a giant. He was with the enemy. If you would, there were two outstanding characteristics about Goliath outside of him being a giant. And that is, and David referenced this, he was defying God. He was defying God. He was against God. And the entire objective of Goliath's activities was to enslave David's nation. I would present to you today that in our nation there are giants who hate God. There are giants who are opposed to God. There are giants that are endeavoring to enslave our nation. David trusted his God and defeated the giant who was opposed to God and was for the enslavement of his nation. We need to be able to trust God. We need to begin to have faith. Now, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, so we're not going to do to today's giants what David did to Goliath. But we still need to have faith to beat today's giants that are opposed to God and are opposed to our nation. And just like David took 5 smooth stones and then he slung one at Goliath and took him down, a lot of times people say, well, why did he use 5? Well, if you look it up, there were 5 giants in the land of the Philistines at that time. David planned on taking every last one of them down. We need to trust God to defeat our giants today in this land. God bless you.
With Ray Eppard. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook on our Ray Eppard pages. This program was brought to you by Victory Worship Center and World Outreach. Services Sunday 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 200 Hammond Lane, Stanton, Virginia.